Today I'm going to show you how we make interactive curtains like this. We've got our curtain created. We've just used some half cylinders in an array. And now what we're going to do is we are going to duplicate this and drag it so it's just right there, because what we're going to do is we're going to shrink it down to right here. And this section is going to be invisible. So we're going to go inside of here. And then inside we can delete everything but the last object. On this object here, we're going to make it invisible and non-collidable. And we'll back out. And then if we open up the properties here, we can select this object and then bring it inside, let go, and then exit. And now our curtain is extra long with its center point being right here. So this is where it's going to contract to. We're going to grab a trigger, and this trigger is going to represent where players can touch the curtain to open and close it. And now whenever a player touches this curtain, it will close and open. Let's bring this trigger inside, so that way when the player touches it, it will expand and contract with the curtain as well. Grab a script block. Inside of our script block, we're going to create a couple of variables. Variable number 1 is going to be a vector, and this will be called origin scale. Our second vector is going to be scale 2. This is what we're going to scale it to. Boolean, and this will represent, is it open or is it closed? And so since it starts as open, we will leave that as true. And then we're going to need an object variable trigger. When world is started, we're going to grab listen to events from our trigger, so that way we know whenever the trigger has been entered. Set the original scale to be the scale of self. And then when trigger is entered by player, we're going to grab two if statements, and we're going to check if it's open or is it closed. And so for open, we don't need to use an equal sign because open means true, but for close, we need to know that it's false. So we just go and grab a Boolean, and now we can see is open false. If open is false, we're going to set open to true. So we're going to reverse this, but because this first one comes beforehand, we need to send that as an event with a delay. So we'll send event with delay, and this delay doesn't need to be very long. We'll put a 0.2 second delay on it, and we'll just use my event, and we'll grab when event is received. When my event is received, we're going to set the open Boolean to false. And so this is going to allow this to reverse. And then in the open script, what we're going to use is a motion over time. So this will be scale to over time. If it's open, we're going to scale to. And we also need a time number variable. So we'll call this time. And we'll set this to be 2 seconds. And then we'll drag 2 seconds down here onto the time. This is going to affect self. And then we're going to duplicate it down here so that we have a copy in our false statement, except for in the false statement, we're just going to go back to our original scale. And now we just need to attach script curtain. And once curtain is attached, we just need to connect our trigger. So we'll go inside, we'll open up the trigger, grab the reference cable, tie that in there. We'll scale to X, Y, Z. And so if we set this to be 50%, 100%, 100%, and then we come in here as a player, we touch the curtain, you'll see that the curtain contracts and opens the window. And then if we touch it again, it will open as long as you just touch it lightly. So here you can see what we need to do is we need to set it up so that there's a slight delay. What you saw happen is that the Boolean is changing too fast because it's able to reopen really quickly. And so here we set it up with a 0.2 second delay. I'm going to switch that to a half second. So there's a half second. And then down here, we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to go grab send event with delay. And this one we'll call my2. And then we'll go grab when event is received. And when my2 is received, we're going to grab that set open to true. And so now we have all of this happening with a delay. And then for the delay, we might as well use the time that it takes to open. That way it gets fully opened or fully closed before you can touch it again. That kind of makes sense. So we'll use time there instead of using half a second. If we come in and we touch our curtain, it opens, we can touch it again. And then if we touch it, it opens again once it's fully closed. There you go. And that is how we make curtains. So now how do we make this open up the other direction? Well, it's not super difficult. We can actually keep almost everything connected. We just need to start by duplicating this and sliding it over till it touches the end. We can go open up the properties, go inside the object, and you'll note that we have this invisible one here. Well, this is in the wrong position, so we need to slide this over this way, and we need to make it so the center point is right here. So we're going to slide it over to about there, and we can kind of estimate based off of this one since this house is scaled. So that looks about right. And now if we back out, you can check the center point is right here, so that's good for me. And now if we go in as a player and we touch the curtain, you'll see it opens, and we can touch that curtain and it opens as well. Very cool. So now we can close it. And now we've got curtains that open and close. You can double tap both of them and they'll open. And here's a quick shot of the script. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye!